Good afternoon, everyone. Biodegradable plastics has been a topic of debate lately and has been redeemed as a new and improved generation of polymers that can tackle the environmental impacts from conventional plastics. Today, we are trying to develop an effective argument where we can bring forward the topic, which is are biodegradable plastics the answer to current environmental issues? For our roundtable discussion today, I have an environmentalist, my government representative from SIRIM, my packaging researcher, Miss Hanis, and also from the private sector, Mr. Dylan. Right, before we move forward, let me start off by explaining the two groups or the two classes of biodegradable plastics. Now, biodegradable plastics can be divided into two groups, which are biodegradable polymers and biopolymers. So biodegradable polymers are made from synthetic oil-based polymers, and they are usually chemically modified by adding pro-degradant concentrates to allow them to degrade. And biopolymers can come from natural resources such as starch, polysaccharides, and also sugars, from microbial production, and also chemically synthesized from bio-derived monomers. Now, today we can see that the application of biodegradable plastics are widely used in the industry. Can you give me a few examples of the applications that are used in the industry?
Yeah, sure. As we all know, now the biodegradable plastic is already widely used in the industry, and especially in the Europe country. For example, in some countries such as China and also the Germany, they are already starting to endorse the biodegradable material in all the packaging, so that they can decrease the volume of the inner material in the landfill. So actually, there are many industries start to use the biodegradable plastic. For example, in the automotive industry, food industry, medicine industry, and as well as the agriculture industry. So for the food packaging, they're actually being used in the primary, secondary, and also the tertiary packaging. And the example of the biodegradable packaging include the starch-based, cellulose-based, and also the polyactic monomer in the making of the biodegradable packaging. So the example of the product that are using this kind of biodegradable packaging include the packaging of the food, such as for the bread, for the fruit, and also the disposable tableware and the cutlery, and as well as the bottle we can purchase in the market. Yeah.
Thank you. Basically, the concept of biodegradable plastics were introduced as an eco-friendly product. Now, can you explain some of the advantages of these biodegradable products or plastics to the environment?
Okay. Actually, biodegradable plastic is to reduce or minimize the environmental pollutant that come from non-biodegradable plastic. So there are several advantages. First is it can reduce carbon emission during manufacturing biodegradable. Then it also require less amount of energy, and also it does not need burning of fossil fuel. So since biodegradable plastic need less energy, so more production of biodegradable plastic will more bioversion, and also there is less pollutant compared to non-biodegradable plastic. It need more energy for production and energy for the production. And also next advantage is biodegradable plastic can reduce the landfill area. As we know, non-biodegradable plastic will brought to the landfill to discard. So usually the land area that used to discard the biodegradable plastic is the land area that has been used for industrial and other so if we use biodegradable plastic, so we do not need add more landfill because biodegradable plastic can break down by microorganisms.
Thank you. As Hanif has noted, biodegradable plastics has very much impacted in a positive way towards the environment. Now, this very much correlates with the ideology of a sustainable development, whereby the definition from the World Commission on Environment and Development, sustainable development is a development that meets the needs of a current generation and also fulfills the needs and requirements of the coming generation. So what do you think, or what are the government policies that has been implemented to increase the usage of these biodegradable plastics?
Thank you, Nafisa. Earlier this year, SIREM had launched an eco-labelling certification scheme to further boost the green consumerism in Malaysia and to promote the usage of bio-based packaging, plastic and packaging. And this scheme is called SIREM Eco 009 2016. Other than that, Malaysian government has been banning the usage of conventional plastic step by step. And for other countries such as France, they are the first country in the world that has been banning the usage of plastic in food packaging such as food boxes and cutlery. This rule has been passed on 2016 and will be going into effect on 2020. The conventional plastic need to be replaced with the one that is biodegradable, compostable, and made up from bio-sourced material.
I fully understand that the policies implemented by the government has increased the usage of these biodegradable plastics. But when they come with a management of this waste of these biodegradable plastics, maybe you can briefly explain the ways or the methods that are used to degrade these biodegradable plastics.
Generally, biodegradable plastic can degrade through the conversion and wastewater treatment plant, marine and water. And also, for example, like we take the example the blend of starch and polyvinyl alcohol. So this biopolymer is water soluble and it can degrade in water. The other example is like also biodegradable polymer. It can trigger by exposure to sunlight. So some studies show that it fully degrade in 20 months at minimum.
Okay. From what I understand, that these degradation methods or procedures have key factors or specific conditions to allow of fully decomposition or fully degradation of these biochemical plastics. Now, these surely have an environmental effects when improper waste management of these biodegradable plastics are carried out. So as an environmentalist, are there any effects on the environment when improper biodegradability on these plastics are done?
Thank you. I believe that biodegradable plastic sounds like a wonderful idea when we first heard about it. However, according to a report by United Nations Environment Programme or UNEP in 2015, it shows that most of the biodegradable plastics are actually end up in the ocean after being dumped. For example, oxo-biodegradable plastics rarely actually degrade as they require long-term exposure to high temperature to degrade. So once they are in the ocean, the water reduces UV, sunlight, and oxygen exposure, and therefore they are taking longer time to degrade. Furthermore, the degradation of certain biodegradable plastics, such as starch-based biopolymer, will consume the oxygen that is available in the aquatic environment or the ocean. So this will in turn increase the aquatic BOD content in the aquatic environment, and therefore less level of oxygen is available for aquatic organisms such as fish or prawns.
Okay, I understand that this unsuccessful degradation can lead to many environmental factors. So life cycle assessment on these biodegradable plastics has been done to determine the rate and optimization of this degradation process. Now, these life cycle assessments can be done in many ways, where it can be calculated during by their weight loss or the carbon dioxide production or methane production from the degradation process. Now, in specifications, is there any research done to determine the factors that might affect this biodegradation, and also the byproducts from this degradation, such as maybe fragmented polymers or small aromatic compounds? Can you explain?
There is some study that have been done. The rate of biodegradable plastic is in marine environment is highly affected by the water. So, for example, in cool water, there are some bioplastic still in form that can be danger to marine life at period time. So, in some initial trial that carried out by Australia, they found that a starch PCA blend is degrade in 20 weeks, while in Queensland waters, but in South Australian water it degrade about 30 weeks. So it shows that the degradation process of biodegradable depends on the environment itself.
I understand. So, what are the government takes on this poor degradation or incomplete degradation of this bioplastic method mentioned?
Okay. Firstly, I would like to explain about the incomplete composting of biodegradable plastic. According to the International Standard Research, ISR, they have concluded that there are 3 aspects that need to be met for the composting process. The first one is they must degrade at the same rate and to the same extent as non-compostable material such as garden waste and paper, and they must not leave any persistent and toxic residue. Second one, they must disintegrate in the active composting process so that there is no distinguished or visible fragments can be seen on screen. The last one is they must not have any ecotoxicity and phytotoxicity that can impart the ability for the compost to support the plant growth. And as for the biodegradable plastic that have been mentioned by Mr. Heng, there has been controversy on this biodegradable plastic, whether it is a real biodegradable plastic or it is only a conventional plastic bags that has been added with chemical that will help in degradation. In January 2017, a workshop has been conducted by European Parliament together with the NGOs and the industrial representative, and they has concluded that oxo fragmentation is not biodegradation. Therefore, oxo biodegradable plastic cannot be considered as biodegradable plastic.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. Now, besides the pollution in the marine system from the incomplete degradation process, biodegradable plastics has also faced up a challenge in the reprocessing industry. Now, biodegradable plastics deemed to disrupt the integrity of the recycling process and change or modify the material that were reprocessed in the first place. Now, without a standard and systematic approach to these problems, these bioplastics in the end contribute to the total litter waste, and in the end also contribute to the environmental problems that we face from conventional plastics. So can you explain this issue further?
Okay. The bioplastic or biopolymers are theoretically recyclable, but practically less recyclable than conventional plastics, because they can contaminate the feed of the recycling plant. Due to the difference in composition between biopolymers and conventional plastics, they cannot be recycled in the mainstream. There's a difference in material properties of the two types of plastic, and if they are mixed together during recycling, they will contaminate the conventional plastic, and the plastic product that is produced through the recycling process will be compromised. For example, the plastic produced by this kind of problem will tend to disintegrate, and therefore the quality of food packaging produced will be bad, and this is unfavorable, especially for long-term storage of food.
Now, coming from the private sector itself, how do you find a solution to this problem?
Well, actually, there's no specific recycling pathway for the biodegradable polymer, but the best technology we have now is actually using the near infrared detection to separate the biodegradable plastic from the conventional plastic. So in the Europe, the private sector such as the European bioplastic, they are actually starting to implement the recycling stream where the biodegradable plastic will be separated out from the normal plastic using the organic stream, and then the organic stream will bring you transport the biodegradable plastic into the further processing to process into substance such as the soil conditioner, and this actually can help to prevent the quality of the recycled conventional plastic to be degraded, and also try to avoid the bioplastic to be mixed inside the conventional plastic. Yeah, thank you.
From what I can take from this is a specified disposal route and also appropriate recovery system can maintain the integrity in the reprocessing system and also expand the waste management of these biodegradable plastics into recycling. Now, we have reached to the end of our discussion. As an overview, we have started off by explaining the policies, the applications, and also the uses of these bioplastics in today's industrial sector. However, with the increasing use of these bioplastics and their biodegradation nature, we have highlighted and discusses two environmental factors that can arise from incomplete degradation of these bioplastics. Now, first, the pollution of aquatic environment, and second is the accumulation of bioplastics in recycling feeds ends up adding to the total litter production. To conclude, the use of these bioplastics have their advantages to the environment, but to preserve the concept of eco-friendliness and also the sustainability development of it, better waste control of these bioplastics has to be done. Thank you.